Welcome to Michigan in Focus, powered by thecentersquare.com. This episode features a piece by the Center Square's Terez Boudreau, headlined, quote, "Israel a potential issue in Michigan's U.S. Senate race," end quote. Here's the story. Candidates in Michigan's U.S. Senate race disagree on issues ranging from electric vehicles to crime. But most recently, they've clashed over foreign policy. U.S. Representative Elissa Slotkin, a Democrat, is facing former U.S. Representative Mike Rogers, a Republican. Republicans hope to flip the seat as incumbent Democrat Debbie Stabenow is not running for re-election. Slotkin criticized Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's recent address to Congress, saying he continues to play politics. She said, quote, "It was a classic case of the messenger versus the message. Given the significant problems I've had with his policies, the coalition members he surrounds himself with, and the incentive he has to stay in office," end quote. Slotkin served as a CIA analyst in Iraq and worked in the U.S. Department of Defense during the Obama administration. She ran for office in 2017 and has served as the Congresswoman for Michigan's 8th Congressional District since then. During her time in office, Slotkin voted for the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which would transfer police funding to community-based programs, among other things. She voted for the HEROES Act, a $3 trillion stimulus package, the $2.2 trillion Build Back Better Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which a Goldman Sachs report projects will cost a total of $1.2 trillion. Slotkin also co-sponsored the Ban Corporate PACs Act, which would ban corporate political action committees. Slotkin's campaign prioritizes gun control, abortion access, domestic manufacturing, electric vehicles and renewable energy, and lowering healthcare costs. Her campaign website says, quote, "Elissa is running to represent Michigan in the U.S. Senate to continue her life of service to the country she loves. That means defending and expanding Michigan's middle class, making critical items in America, keeping our kids safe from the things that are truly harming them, and protecting our rights and democracy," end quote. Slotkin leads Rogers 45% to 41% according to a recent Emerson College poll. However, 14% of voters were undecided. Rogers, who has been endorsed by former President Donald Trump, released a statement in support of Netanyahu. He said, quote, "America must remain committed to our friends and partners in Israel as they fight to eliminate terrorists who committed unspeakable atrocities on October 7th, end quote. Rogers served in the FBI specializing in organized crime and public corruption before getting elected to the Michigan State Senate in 1994. He served as U.S. Representative for Michigan's 8th Congressional District from 2001 to 2015. During his time in office, Rogers introduced the Michigan Education Savings Program, which created tax-free education savings plans. He also introduced the Health Savings Account program for low-income families and sponsored the Respect for America's Fallen Heroes Act, which prohibits protests near cemeteries for veterans. Rogers' campaign focuses on crime, the border, the economy, and stopping China's global dominance. He has argued that buying EVs supports China, saying most EV parts are made there. Rogers said during a visit to Midland last week, quote, "We're going to make America respected again. We're going to make America safe again. We're going to make our groceries affordable again. We're going to get America believing in ourselves again for the future of this country," end quote. Michigan early voting for the November election starts September 26th. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. This podcast was made with the assistance of AI technology. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.